From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.
Yeah, it's Taylor Heating and Plumbing. That's Taylor 500 Help. You know, the thing of it is, it's kind of nice. The rest of the country is baking, but here in Rochester, we're at 76. So that's kind of nice. But tomorrow, up to 90. So you're going to want that air conditioner to work. If you don't have one, call my guys at Taylor Heating and Plumbing. Taylor 500 Help. Tailor-made service, customized to fit your needs, air conditioning, heating, plumbing, home energy, comprehensive maintenance plans. If something breaks down, say it's 90 degrees tomorrow and you don't have any air conditioning, you know, the guys will come out. Taylor 500 Help is the number to call. Don't stress those important repairs or replacements because Taylor can put together a financing plan that suits your budget, and that's very important. If you're looking for a little insulation, your house is drafty, Taylor 500 Help. And Taylor is also hiring. Some of their current opportunities: HVAC techs, plumbers, project managers, and office personnel. Also, if you want your lawn or maybe your trees or whatever you have at your house to look better than anyone else in the block, Precision Lawn and Garden. They are the folks to go to make that happen. North Avenue in Webster. Kimberly and Justin are the best by far. Precision Lawn and Garden has been servicing surrounding Rochester areas with professional sales, service, and parts since 1969. Anything you need to make your yard look better: lawn mowers, chainsaws, blowers. They've got snow blowers, everything, all your favorite brands: Kawasaki engines, Cub Cadet, Toro, Aaron's. Precision Lawn and Garden, North Avenue in Webster. You want your driveway to look great, right? If your lawn looks great, you want your driveway to look great. 645-2010. Someone said, "Hey, Kimberly, who's that driveway sealer that you know?" It's Brian, Express Sealers. East side only, 645-2010. He will make your driveway look amazing. That is Express Sealers. And make sure you support our advertisers. They support us here at We the People Podcast Network and also Kimberly's Revolution.
West Side, baby. West Side.
West Side. The West Side sign.
Yeah.
That is West Side.
Live from the We the People broadcast studio in sunny, beautiful 72-degree Irondequoit, New York. Fasten your seatbelts. Make sure you keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. You are about to enter the danger zone. Here she is. It's Kimberly Ray.
Hey, welcome everyone to a Tuesday. How are you? It's good to see you. West Side. I don't know what the West Side sign is. West Side. Anyway, so Kimberly's Revolution. We are here, the We the People Podcast Network. Glad to see you. And the name of today's show is Austin. What's the name of today's show? I forgot already.
Boys Will Be Girls.
Boys Will Be Girls.
Of course it is. Shocker.
Boys will be girls.
Is it time for me to go home yet?
Will be boys. I do have, Chad, of course, wanted to make sure he was a part of today's show. So
Shocker.
I will show his contribution a little later. But boys will be girls. It's the name of today's show. We've got a lot going on today's show. We welcome all the Patriots. We're so glad you're here. Please support our advertisers, right? Because they support us. We couldn't do this here in Irondequoit at these lovely studios at the Revere Realty building without you.
Go
calling
buy a damn
Taylor.
lawnmower.
Calling Precision Lawn and Garden, calling Brian at Express Sealers. So please do that. Of course, I am Kimberly, as we mentioned, and sitting across from me is just Tom.
I'm here.
Of course.
Don't wear it out.
He's an appraiser and a realtor, and he owns, of course, Revere Realty, where we sell houses, or we attempt to. We will help sell your house. We will help you buy a house. So excited because
Full service.
I had 2 clients in the last week that we've been working with for a very long time get houses. So congratulations to Mike and Sharon and also Amber.
Absolutely.
Who we've been working with. And finally, Amber got her first home ever at the age of 25. And on the opposite end of the spectrum was Mike and Sharon. They're my age and also first-time home buyers. So I'm so excited for them. So, and then we have a couple of more closing at the end of this month. Well, this week and then at the end of this month, and lots of stuff going on in the home buying
You're doing
industry.
the work of the Lord, Kimberly.
We are doing the work of the and Austin, our producer, making everything happen, is sitting right down from us. And yes, we're so glad that Austin is here. He helps me come up with names for the show. So
he is very witty.
He is. We've already disagreed on one thing already. So Austin is chomping at the bit. And what I told Austin is he doesn't really get about me. And I think you have come to the understanding.
I just try not to disagree with you. Whenever I disagree with you, I just get yelled at.
I know you do. I see things as black and white. There's no gray in between. And the great thing about the radio show that I had along with Beck for so many years was the fact that he understood that about me, and he just let me go. Right. Austin's like, no, Kimberly, that's not, you're not seeing the right angle from this story. And I'm like, okay, Austin.
I've just developed a drinking problem. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Everything will be fine.
Your wife must be so docile and nice.
Nah, she's a great girl.
I mean, could you just imagine if she were like me in any way?
Oh no, I'd be dead, I think.
Well, that's what my husband thinks sometimes. So we're going to break down a couple of things that are going on. There's a gender quiz in the Pittsford Middle School that the kids have been tasked.
I failed.
Who the hell would know? And then of course, I guess your ability to display your pride, which what I am all about. Whoever you love is who you love. I don't have a problem with it.
Absolutely.
Don't shove your ways and means on me, and I will not do the same. I always tell you, two people that I love so much got married. It was a same-sex wedding a couple of years ago. He actually hired me back in 2000 to come work here, and love him and his partner. And they've been together ever since. I've known him since 2000, longer than a lot of heterosexual couples and marriages. And I love him to death. So I am not anti-gay. I am not anti-pride. I am all for love. But I just wish there wouldn't be the whole punishment for people who have a different set of values and a different set of feelings and a different thought process. Can we just have that for a second? Not everyone feels the same way as everyone else. And there were some kids that were punished for, I guess, graffiti on pride signs that were in a 6th grade middle school. And my first thought was, why are there pride posters at a freaking middle school? Why are middle schoolers in Pittsford taking gender quizzes? I cannot, and nor will I ever understand the pushing of that mentality on little kids who have zero understanding. Let them grow up first. I don't want my kids, my babies, knowing about, getting it on at 12 or 11. And some people would say, hey, Kimberly, you don't understand. Kids are getting on. No, not all kids are getting it on at 11 years old or 10 years old. So we're going to break down that story. And if you think it's not true, here's the quiz. Here's the quiz that was sent to me. It's on my Facebook page. You can see it. I mean, you have to answer, directions. They had to watch like some 5 to 7 minute video and then match the words
5 to 7 minutes
with the I don't even, how long was the video? I don't know.
No, I think that's the average time people have
sex
5 to 7 minutes,
a minute and a half, whatever you got. Gender, you had to these middle schoolers had to pick the right definition for gender expression, non-binary, gender identity, which apparently is different than gender or gender expression. Who the hell knew? I mean, for God's sakes, these are middle schoolers that are taking this test in Pittsford.
Well, are we sure that those answers are correct,
Kimberly? I don't even know. I honestly, I just looked at this and went, I can't even.
Because I need this information. I only get my information from Jose and Lavelle. So, I need to clarify these answers.
I don't know about those two.
Because I don't know anything when it comes to this.
So we're going to break down boys will be girls. That's hence the name of
cats.
Or cats or whatever. Right. It was a rough day on Wall Street yesterday. But don't worry, because I'm going to play a little clip that Dave Ramsey says it's the best time to buy a house, which is the business that we're in. And corn dogs and Jack Daniels.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm a white trash girl. And there is nothing about me that doesn't say corn dogs and Jack Daniels and Coke. So there's a new Coke product out that has actually Jack
Yeah,
Daniels
I
in
saw
it.
I'm excited.
So
I'm ready.
Let me just and
How
by the
come
way,
you didn't bring in samples?
I haven't seen it in stores yet, actually, the Jack Daniels Coke product. So I'm sure it will be by hopefully July 4th. It'll be in stores. And tonight there's a full moon. It's a strawberry moon. We got strawberries at the farmer's market over the weekend.
Going to celebrate the full moon.
Need about another week on the strawberries here in Rochester. Wherever you are may be different, but we're about a month behind the growing season of like the rest of the country.
The cotton's a little late too. Have you noticed? Normally the cotton's gone by now, and it's crazy.
Oh,
this year.
the white stuff that's
crazy
blown
this
around.
year.
Oh, it is crazy. From the cottonwood trees, right?
Yeah.
It's in my pool.
Poplar trees.
Poplar trees.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of trees.
Same thing.
It looks like snow. It's the only
does.
kind of snow that I like.
But that's late this year, about a week, because normally it ends about now.
It's been very cool and rainy here in Rochester, but I did turn on the air conditioning before I left the house. Thanks to Taylor 500 Help, it actually runs. So here's what I'm going to tell you, that yesterday Wall Street had a hell of a day. And if you're thinking about retiring, don't worry, because Biden's press secretary says everything is going to be okay. Do we have that? Do we have Biden's? What's her name, by the way? She looks pretty in pink. I will say that's her color. It's her signature color. But Biden says, don't worry, everything's going to be good. Can we play that?
Okay, so as you say that Americans are well positioned to weather this stock market decline, what is the president's message to somebody who might want to retire, but their 401k is getting wiped out?
So we know that that high prices are having a real effect on people's lives. We get that.
Do you?
And we are incredibly focused on doing everything that we can to make sure that the economy is working for every American people. But we are coming out of the strongest job market in American history, and that matters. And that a lot of that is thanks to the American Rescue Plan, which only Democrats voted for that. Republicans did not, and it led to this economic boom, this historic economic boom that we're seeing.
Whoa. Can we, what did she just say? Historic economic boom? Is she delirious?
Well, she's paid to lie, Kimberly.
Honestly, can we roll that back a second? Did she say tremendous economic boom? Because
so as you say that Americans are,
we are coming out of the strongest job market in American history,
because everybody got laid off.
A lot of that is thanks to the American Rescue Plan, which only Democrats voted for that. Republicans did not, and it led to this economic boom, this historic economic boom that we're seeing.
Historic economic boom. She is seriously delusional.
Well,
seriously delusional.
They're using statistics coming out of
where?
Pandemic. Where everybody was laid off or quit.
Yeah.
And now, so the 8 million jobs that they created are all just stupid.
My husband filled up at Tops, and I felt good because my mother only likes me to shop at Tops for the things that she needs. And so my mother is older. She's, 88. And and I've noticed that a lot of the older people like Tops better than Wegmans for some reason. So I will go to Tops and I will use my Tops card. So I felt lucky that I had 20 cents off, because every time you shop, you rack up gas points at Tops to go to their gas station and get gas. And so we did that on Sunday, and I had 20 cents off using my Tops bonus card. And so the gas still came for my husband's SUV to $98. It was $4.99. We got 20 cents off. And right now, basically, if you look at some of the gas stations around the country, not just here in Rochester, but we have topped the $5 a gallon mark.
A few of them have, yeah.
A few of them have. And the feds, the Fed policymakers are saying that there's going to be a 0.5 point interest rate by the end of this week. I think Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
A 0.5 point interest hike is going to happen on Thursday. And then they're going to have another 0.5 point interest rate hike coming up in July. So basically, we're going to go up a point by mid-July for the interest rates. And it's going to get ugly, guys.
Well, this is
is going to get ugly.
The Fed rate is the money in which banks borrow money, and the money, this is for commercial and corporations. And this does not directly affect the housing market. Banks have been raising the rates all along for a couple of years now. So,
well, I will tell you,
we're probably going to be close to 6%.
People are rushing to lock in their rate because of this.
Yeah.
I mean, people are rushing. So I think it does affect housing a little bit.
Not immediately, but it's a short-term thing.
And, of course, raising the interest rate makes people freak out. And so we're paying over $5 a gallon for gas. They say, and I know in California, they're already at $6 and $7 a gallon. I know that. But California has always been kind of the outlier when it comes to gas prices. It always seems like they hit the top first. No one ever gets close to the gas prices that they have in California. There is absolutely zero reason for this to be happening in the United States. We have our own oil resources. There is no reason that we should not be harvesting our own. But thanks to Biden and the great electric push, they want to get everyone on the electric car. But the fact of the matter is, you can't afford an electric car. They're expensive. The Teslas don't even start. I mean, until you get around $47,000, $48,000 for a car. Who can afford that?
Well, now that all the leftists hate Elon Musk and they're not buying Teslas, maybe the price will come down a little bit.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
So your average gallon of gas is over $5 a gallon. And that's right here in Rochester too, depending on, where you get gas. There's a perfect storm that has aligned to make this a brutal price summer for everything you're seeing, for gas, for food, for airline tickets, for, emergency services, right? So there's an ambulance crew in Pittsburgh that says they are limiting service outside of 911 calls after they're facing a budget crunch. Their fuel expense is already done, right? They're out. So they can't, if you call 911 and you're out of the area for them to come pick you up, you are SOL in Pittsburgh. No, I'm not even making it up.
That's crazy.
The fuel expense for the year is typically $50,000. And in Pittsburgh, an ambulance crew says they are already at that limit. And it's only June. Law enforcement. Sheriff's Department of Michigan instructed its deputies to cut back on visits for non-urgent calls because they've already blasted through their fuel budget. So if you don't think this is going to affect you and your neighbors somehow with the gas prices, and let's be clear, they will tell you differently, but Joe Biden is the reason all of this is happening. There is no one more responsible than Joe Biden. Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, he's not even dealing with a full deck. There was an interesting question, and it came from a CNN anchor that asked the press secretary what's going on with Dementia Joe. Joe doesn't seem to
Well, they're setting him up.
Joe doesn't seem to be quite right. So let's go to that question.
Yeah, poor old Joe's getting set up here.
Does the president have the stamina, physically and mentally, do you think, to continue on even after 2024?
Don, you're asking me this question. Oh my gosh, he's the president of the United States. I can't even keep up with him. We just got back from New Mexico. We just got back from California. That is, that is not a question that we should be even asking. Just look at the work.
She can't even get through it.
Look what how he's delivering for the American public. Look, that article that we're talking about is hearsay. It's salacious. That's not what we care about. We care about how are we going to deliver for the American people? How are we going to make their lives better?
We would like to know how you're going to do it too.
Right.
That is his focus.
You can stop that because right now, so she is honestly, you watch her and you just go, I can't.
Well, the Democrat approval rating of the president is sinking. So now, the Democrat media is trying to set him up so that he won't run in 2024.
It is, yeah. And then of course you have her, and here's another statement. She's trying to make some point, and you're just wondering where she went to college. Can we play that?
He has made this his top economic priority as we're talking about inflation, as we're talking about the economy. Like, we have to remember where this country was more than a year ago when he walked into office. The economy was not in a great place. Schools were closed, businesses were closed. We didn't have a comprehensive COVID strategy. And what he ended up doing was meet that moment, pass the American Rescue Plan. Only Democrats passed.
Was there another video too, I think?
Yes,
yeah, it's a shorter one. Yeah.
Does President Biden take any responsibility for his policies potentially contributing to inflation?
His policies has helped the economy get back on its feet. That's what his policies has done.
Okay.
Shocker.
Has done. I mean, can we just?
Well, I can't make fun of anybody's education.
Grammatical.
She probably went to something higher than SUNY Brockport.
But here's the thing. He is directly responsible. And of course she is not allowed to answer that way.
I thought it was all about Putin.
It's crazy inflation. It's not looking like it's going to get any better. But I'll tell you, when we hit $98 for gas on Sunday, and that was with 20 cents off, I mean, it hits you. No one has received any kind of pay increase that will help them deal with the rising costs. In fact, I think I saw this morning that U.S. households are paying $460 extra a month to pay for the same stuff that they were buying 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Have you received a $460 a month raise in 2 years?
No, but Visa and MasterCard have.
I mean, I, of course, have not had a $460 a month raise, but I'm talking about people who are still at the same job doing the same thing that they were doing 2 years ago.
Sure.
Have you received that kind of a raise? Because otherwise, people that were on a tight budget to begin with, how can they afford to spend an extra $400 and that's on average?
They can't.
How can you expect to pay $460 more a month than you were paying a year or two ago?
Well, I tell you what, that goes to the whole point of inflation. In other words, if you've got to pay $460 a month on average for just existing, because these are necessity items.
Right.
Well, then what doesn't get done? You're not going to go out to eat. The restaurants are going to suffer. You're not going to go to the mall.
Right.
You're not going to shop.
Right.
You're not going to buy things with your income because you just have to use it to exist.
Absolutely.
And that makes inflation get even higher. And that's where the tumbling effect comes in.
So if you're wondering about the good news, the good news, there is good news, is that anyone who's a fan of Dave Ramsey, I saw this video, and I don't follow exactly what he says to, the T, but I think the man is smart, and I think he gives great advice on money. And here he's talking about the housing market. Can we play that video from Dave Ramsey?
Did you see what Dave Ramsey just said about the housing market?
Right now is the best time to buy a house in the next 5 years. Right now. And here's why. Okay? Prices are not going to go down. Some of you are saying, well, I'm going to wait for prices to come down. You're not going to get them. Yeah. They're not coming down.
Yeah. Come down before.
They're going to go up slower, but they're not going to go down. They may not go up hardly at all, but they're not going to go down. And so 5 years from today, houses are going to be more expensive. This is as cheap as it's going to be in the next 5 years. So this is the best price right now if you're going to buy a house. Well, interest rates are up. Buy the house. If interest rates come back down, refinance. Yeah. But
That's
don't
actually a good point.
buy waiting on interest rates to come down. Just refinance the mortgage if interest rates come down. This is the best time to buy a house in the next 5 years.
There it is.
So
Dave Ramsey.
so there's Dave Ramsey. I don't know who that guy is. He must be a real estate agent somewhere. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. Patty says she loves Dave Ramsey. I know, but here Dave Ramsey says buy a house because prices are not going to come down. No, prices are not going to come down. Just like your taxes aren't going to come down. You're going to see the price that you're paying for houses now is just like Dave Ramsey said, they're only going to go up from here. Is it going to price a lot of people out of a house? I don't know because rents are going up as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of people have said, oh, I'm not going to overpay for a house. Well, then I guess you won't have a house. I mean,
Right now, yeah.
What's the option? Again, right now, tomorrow, you even heard in 5 years, there's not going to be a difference. The houses are going to be the price that they are. I mean, we've had, I don't know how many houses in our neighborhood sell for well over the asking price. And those houses are going to be assessed at that rate. And that's going to be the price moving forward.
Right.
Right. I mean, it's the housing prices aren't going to go down.
We need more supply to move the needle.
Definitely.
There's just not enough houses for sale.
Well, I mean, you hear people say, oh, I'm afraid that I won't be able to get into another house.
Yeah. Where would I move?
Right.
So,
well, a lot of people that I have helped, buy and sell their houses, they're buying here, they're first time buyers. A lot of the sellers are moving out of state.
right.
So, there's your, I guess that's easy, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't 100% agree with that because the real estate market for hundreds of years has always been cyclical.
Mm-hmm.
It goes up, it comes down. So back in 2008, when we had the savings and loan crisis, the market did drop 10 to 20% from 2009 to 2014. So yeah, more than likely it'll probably stabilize over the next few years. But my guess is it will slightly decline somewhat. But are you going to, until we get more supply on the market, we're not going to see prices drop. And if the prices are going to keep going. And right now, the real estate market is on fire and it's probably a little bit more than 1% a month. So if you own a $300,000 house, your house is going up in value $3,000 every month. You sit in it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. I want to show something over the weekend that I happened to notice on Twitter. It was a picture of the violent weekend that Chicago had. Chicago weekend shootings. 6 dead, 31 injured. 1 victim fatally stabbed. But 6 people dead, 5 from gun violence, and 31 wounded in gun violence. Have you heard anything about that? Have you heard
only from you
a thing about that? We had 2 homicides over the weekend. A 17-year-old boy on, was it Sunday evening here in the city, off a driving, I think it's off Driving Park. And then we had another guy shot in the middle of broad daylight. No, it was East and Alexander, and I think it was 1:30 in the morning. So 2 homicides.
I did hear about that one
over the weekend. A 17-year-old and then another guy at East and Alexander. You don't really hear a whole lot about him. You certainly have not heard anything about the shootings and the wounded in Chicago. And then you turn around and for the last 2 days, you've heard the only thing you hear coming out of Governor Kathy Hochul's mouth is gun control, more abortion freedom. And I'm like, there is no gun control that is going to stop that headline from repeating itself
every weekend,
every single weekend. There's no red flag law or gun control law that is going to stop the 5 dead from gun violence or 31 wounded because someone picks up a gun and uses it. And by the way, guns don't get up and shoot themselves. People do that. And I guarantee that every one of those people that died in Chicago and the 2 that died here in Rochester over the weekend and the various people that were wounded in Rochester over the weekend from gun violence, none of that was done with a legal weapon. It was done with a gun that was probably stolen from someone somewhere. There's no history behind that person. That, they don't have to worry about red flags because they're not doing it legally to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So these gun laws that they're pushing, it's so fast. In the dark of night, we didn't vote on it. We don't get a chance to vote on it. They're just passed, and now they're a law. One of them they passed last week overnight, and all of a sudden, there's a new gun law. You have to be 21 in the state of New York to buy a particular type of weapon.
An AR-15.
An AR-15. That clearly didn't stop the 2 people from getting shot and killed over the weekend here in Rochester.
Nope.
Did it? It absolutely didn't. These people aren't going to come up on any red flag list. They've not been before a judge. They don't follow the rules. They don't give a rat's ass about Kathy Hochul's new laws.
They don't even know who Kathy Hochul is.
They have no idea who Kathy Hochul is. You're right. They don't.
Right.
So the gun laws aren't going to do anything because the criminals are going to continue doing what they do.
Right.
And I don't.
Unless it's a white supremacist that shoots somebody, nobody knows about it.
Nobody knows about it.
Did you hear about just a side note here, did you hear about the resource officer in Alabama that shot an intruder into a school?
I did.
And, we're not hearing that all over the national news.
I only heard a bit and piece of that, but you're right. So it was a good guy.
Guy with a gun.
With a gun that shot and killed an intruder
right.
at an Alabama school.
Right.
Probably prevented who knows what in the hell was going to happen.
And they had all the doors were locked in the school. It was single point entry. It was
that's crazy.
The protocols from that school district work perfectly. Mm-hmm. And the idiot is dead.
Yeah. But the guy still got in.
Well, somehow.
I mean, see, that's the craziness, but you don't hear that kind of a good story. But here's what it's so confusing, Governor Kathy Hochul. On the one hand, she's banning guns and putting more restrictions on law-abiding citizens. And on the flip side, guns that she says kill people. And on the flip side, she's saying, yes, we want to make sure that everyone can have an abortion so that people can kill someone.
Right.
I'm so confused. And don't get me wrong. I'm pro-choice.
So am I.
I am my body, my choice, 100%. But for God's sakes, can you just pick a direction and go that way? If you're against, killing people on one hand, shouldn't you be against killing people on the other hand?
Stop making common sense here.
And the death penalty too. Why don't we have it? Can't we be, honestly, figure it out.
Yeah.
She's okay with killing babies, but she's not okay with the murders that happen every single day in cities across New York. So she's going to ban guns for the good guys.
Well,
that's the insanity of this whole thing.
The other thing, as soon as they pass that one bit of legislation, they're already working on writing the next one.
On more.
Because they're not satisfied with what they've got done here.
No.
Until everybody has their gun taken away.
And that is correct.
They will keep pushing this down the road, and there will be no satisfaction with any of their accomplishments
until all your guns are gone.
Everything has been, achieved.
Without a doubt.
They'll just keep moving on to the next one.
Without a doubt. You're watching and listening to Kimberly's Revolution on the We the People podcast network, and we appreciate that. Please make sure that you go up and see our sponsors at Taylor's Heating and Plumbing. Of course, at Taylor 500 Help. We love those guys over there. Air conditioning, they have insulation, they do it all. They're also looking for techs if you need a job. And Precision Lawn and Garden, which, lawn mowers, chainsaws, they've got blowers, everything you need. And Express Sealers, who will come out and they will do your driveway if you live on the east side. So we appreciate our sponsors. We are so glad that they're with us. And they've been with us for the long haul for a long time. They're not going anywhere, which we appreciate. I do hear that some people called to complain to them. And
really?
Yes. Someone told me a story the other day that they had politely told the person on the phone that it is their right as a company to advertise wherever they would like.
Interesting. I didn't hear that.
We appreciate that. We appreciate our advertisers staying with us. Boys will be girls. Only because I like those kind of titles that kind of, just cause trouble a little bit. Let's talk about what the kids are learning in school. And by the way, speaking of kids, is there a kid of yours that has something special?
Yes. Austin, can you put up the picture?
Of kids?
There she is.
Oh, who's that?
That's my daughter, Danielle.
Oh my God. The baby looks just like your daughter.
That's my daughter. Well, that baby is my daughter.
That baby is your daughter.
Right. That's my daughter, Danielle. She turns 27 today.
And Danielle is a mama.
And
so
baby Sophia.
Sophia looks just like that.
And that's a younger version of me that will never come back.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, your hair wasn't gray then.
No, that was my actual hair color.
You at least got that going on.
That was 32-year-old just Tom there.
Oh, really? That's a great picture.
Yeah.
That is a great picture.
She's a great girl. Love you, Danielle.
So
happy
birthday to Danielle.
Yeah.
She's a little Gemini girl.
She is.
My little Gemini girl turns 24 on Sunday.
All right.
Father's Day. And as I was telling her yesterday, she was 2 weeks late. She was due on the 10th. Damn kid.
Ruins every Father's Day now.
It's like every couple of years it falls on Father's Day. It's not every year that it falls on Father's Day.
Well, Danielle's birthday's always on Flag Day. So
on Flag Day, that's right.
Love it. Today is Flag Day.
Hope you're flying your American flag as we are behind us, as we do for every podcast. All right. So in Pittsford, they're taking a little quiz. And it's my understanding that some of the Pittsford parents are up in arms about this, and they should be.
I think this is a fantastic idea.
And they absolutely should be angry about this.
Why?
So there was it's
educational.
It's sixth grade.
I don't even know the answers to this.
I know.
Don't we need to learn?
First off, how in the world do you ever grade this? I mean,
I don't know.
I never
can't
understood
they give the
that.
kid a ruler?
I never understood draw the line quizzes. And it's, we all took them. So the directions were, as you watch the video, match the word in the left column to the definition in the right column.
Oh, so this wasn't like a surprise. So this is easy then, because they watch the video and they say, okay, here's this, and then they draw the line. I mean, I thought this was like a pop quiz or something.
It's a quiz that they have to take along with watching the video.
Yeah, but they're watching the video at the same time. That's like a take-home test. What the hell?
You can look it up in the book,
school
right?
School is so easy now. I would have got an A in school.
So they wanted
Maybe
these
not.
sixth graders at this Pittsford middle school, and I think there's some kind of a meeting coming up. It might be tonight. If anyone knows, you can,
All right,
write it out in the comment section.
I'm still a little
podcast.
Confused on the cisgender. That one.
Cisgender is and I hate to use this word, is normal. I think.
Right.
I don't.
So what's the point?
I don't even know. I mean, I had no idea what cisgender was either. And I don't give a rat's ass how people live their lives. Love who you love, and get on with it. But stop with the talking about sex and gender to kids that can't even figure out, how to spell their name yet, right?
The one that the gender queer fluid, where they just don't believe in any genders.
Yeah, gender queer fluid.
Yeah, that's
a person who doesn't identify themselves as having any specific gender at all.
Well, there's like 190 of them. Can't they pick one?
I don't even know.
Right.
It's so confusing. And to push this on sixth graders or fifth graders at this middle school is, I don't know. It lacks responsibility.
Well, right.
It's ridiculous.
At some point, they have to get up to speed, I suppose, and understand
maybe
where
when you-
this crazy world is going.
Maybe
But-
when they're in high school, maybe
Yeah,
juniors
that
and
makes more sense.
seniors.
What do you think about this,
Maybe
Austin?
college. I don't know.
Um,
But to learn about this as a fifth or a sixth grader,
as a young guy here, what's your thought?
so I don't know. Like, are we sure this was sixth grade? Is that
it's a middle school with fifth and sixth graders.
Okay, that was only fifth and sixth graders.
I mean, I don't know. That's my understanding.
Okay.
Middle school is usually what, fifth, sixth, maybe seventh. I don't know.
My middle school was 6th through 8th.
Oh, okay.
But
Even then,
I don't know. By 8th grade, I think you might be entering that age of sexual whateverness.
wow.
Okay. I mean,
Slightly awkward.
Sexual what?
How old are you in 8th grade?
Okay,
Was
so
that,
they're
like
11
13?
and 12 years.
I was like
years old.
72
Okay.
in 8th grade.
So you're talking about 11, 12-year-olds in middle school. I mean, maybe
Yeah,
8th
you could-
grade,
you
young
probably-
12, maybe 13. I mean, I don't
Right,
know.
You could probably leave this to high school.
I think you can leave it to high school. I think you can leave it to, 16, 17, 18. I don't feel the need that kids in grade school should be learning about what gender identity is and non-binary. There's absolutely no, they've already got so much on their plate just dealing with their bodies changing and life, what they're going through, and they're transferring from middle school to high school. I mean, there's so much going on with these kids. I think it's irresponsible. I don't think it is the school's responsibility to be teaching this. There's only two genders. Someone says, yeah. No, clearly you would fail this test.
Right. I guess for educational purposes, to understand what's going on in the world, they do need to know where they are, as long as they're obviously not, pushing an agenda. If it's just you watch a movie that may be neutral in some way, and here's the vocabulary.
None of this is
here's the
neutral in any way.
vocabulary words,
Yeah.
to understand as to where you are in this world.
I mean,
but yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're pushing an agenda, then that's a whole different story.
In 6th grade, our parents had to sign off on a note saying that we could watch a film. Remember film? We could watch a film during class.
You had the actual reel
on our bodies. Remember, our changing bodies.
Right.
The girls watched one film. Yep, the reel to reel, and the boys watched another film and called Our Bodies. And it basically talked about, hey, your body as a girl is changing, your hair under your underarms and stuff. And our parents had to sign off on that. There were some parents that didn't sign off on. They're not even getting a choice now, parents.
Yeah,
you're just learning about cisgender and gender expression and non-binary. And while I don't think anything is wrong with this, let me be clear. Nothing is wrong with this. It's the age that they're shoving it down the kids' throat.
Correct.
Enough already. Wait till the kids are older with, maybe a better understanding of life and what's going on around them.
Do you know where my trauma in middle school was? Square dancing. God, that was a nightmare. And then where my sexual education took place?
You know what my trauma was? Having to go to freaking
Square
gym
dancing.
class. No, changing
Ninth
clothes
grade
in the
swimming.
locker room.
Who wants to do 9th grade swimming? Nobody wants to do 9th grade swimming.
Nobody wants to go to gym class. Nobody wants to change in gym class. And I remember we had to bring our own deodorant.
Steve looks a little different than everybody else. What's going on here in 9th grade?
Again, Kimberly's Revolution. The name of the show is Boys Will Be Girls. So that's Pittsford. That's on the east side. I don't want to leave the west side out, guys. I don't want to leave the west side out. So we're going to go to Cosgrove Middle School.
West side.
West side in Spencerport, where apparently it's Pride Month. Okay, yay. Fly your rainbow flag, whatever you want. I don't care. But to celebrate Pride Month in middle school in Spencerport, they decided that they were going to put pride posters everywhere.
That sounds like an agenda.
I just don't know about that. I don't believe that there should be pride posters at the elementary school level. Again, it's an age thing with me, guys. It's not a concept that I'm against. Again,
Can we let the kids grow up and then decide what they're going to do?
It's the age of the kids.
Right.
So let's just let them get it to a different level of maturity before we start forcing this down their throat. So 4 Spencerport kids are facing consequences after they removed or graffitied some of the signs for Pride Week and wrote their own little note on the sign, which is also wrong.
Horrible.
Right. So the Pride posters being up at the elementary school
Cause
level,
and effect, right?
bad idea. That what these kids did, and I don't know if they're boys or girls.
Bad idea.
Also bad idea. Can we play the video? I think it's from channel 13.
This happened just as Pride Month was kicking off. To celebrate, the Cosgrove Ally Club at Cosgrove Middle created a number of posters, and after review by the principal, they were displayed around the school, but not all of them stuck. This image was shared on social media of an anti-gay sign posted at Cosgrove. It reads, "Say no to gay pride, join the straight side. Say no to gay, don't be lame." The district says 2 unnamed students took it upon themselves to remove some of the club's pride support signs, and 2 other students posted the derogatory signage, encouraging students to be straight. The district says this poster was never approved, and the following day issued an apology to its families, reading in part, "This behavior is disheartening. Every student, staff, and family member should be able to feel safe and welcomed in our schools. And we want to extend our apologies to our LGBTQ+ students and families for this incident. Please know this behavior will not be tolerated, and we are continuing to review this incident under the Dignity for All Students Act." The school says it was able to identify all 4 students involved and spoke with their parents. However, the district says privacy laws prevent them from being able to go into further detail about the disciplinary consequences. In the studio, I'm Dan Schrack.
Thank you, Dan. So that's the story at the middle school in Spencerport. They apparently put up signs for Pride Month, and these kids put up their own sign. Our own Chad Hummel had a little contribution.
Oh boy.
We'll put that up because yeah.
Oh boy.
Spencerport administration. Gay pride posters are welcome and encouraged and show love and support. Also Spencerport administration. Straight pride is evil and posters are displays of bigotry. Well, you can't argue with that.
Yeah, yes, I can. I absolutely can. 100%. I'm going to argue with that right now.
You can't argue with
yes,
that.
Yes, I can. Because
how do you argue with that?
The poster that the kids put up, it doesn't say like it's okay to be straight or like straight pride. It says don't be lame, don't be gay. That's the difference.
So it's a negative.
Yeah, that's
you're making fun of the other.
Yeah, that's not showing love and support.
I'm just going to throw this out here.
Okay.
And I don't know this. I'm going to say that those 4 kids are boys because this is boy behavior.
Oh, 100%.
Right. Okay. This is boy behavior. I don't know that these kids.
Well, their penmanship is not at the girl level.
This is little boy mentality.
Right.
This is what you're dealing with here. And did they say there's some kind of an ally group? What the fuck is an ally group? The Cosgrove
I think
Ally.
It was the Axis of Powers, and then the Ally group was the French and the English and the United. No.
Oh, thank you, Mr. World War II.
No.
Is an Ally a LGBTQ organization at the middle school level? Is that
how many of these middle school kids like sexually orientated to where? I mean, does it really matter?
I can't even wrap my head around this.
When they're getting their lunch and they're sitting there and they're talking about, all this?
I don't.
10-year-olds, 11-year-olds?
This is what age group. So, okay, first off, let's just break this down. That little note, right? That we know. There was a little boy. It was a little boy who did this. They're boys.
Yeah.
We know this.
Look at the penmanship. It's horrible.
1, the penmanship. And 2, this is what boys do. I had a girl. So I know. But I
it's
just
not
know.
signed in bubble with the hearts over the eyes, right?
It's boy behavior. And it just tells me that the kids aren't mature enough to deal with this material at this age. It's really quite simple.
Right.
I don't need to draw a picture. Someone else already drew it for us that tells us kids can't deal with this kind of material some kids can, some kids, not all kids, probably 98% of the kids can't grasp this kind of material at this age. It's wrong and it's irresponsible. Older age, fine, no problem. But this is what you're going to get at the elementary school level because these kids don't understand. And it's too early to teach them all of this nonsense about, whatever.
Well, at least they're analytical about it a little bit, the way that they're describing themselves. I mean, it kind of rhymed. I mean, if back in my 6th grade, somebody would have just drawn a big penis and that would have been it. And then we would have laughed, right?
I know. But
I mean, so at least they're working on it a little bit.
But Austin disagrees because I say that the meme is right. The meme is right.
I disagree with the meme. The meme is it's too hyperbolic. It's too
you're saying that you don't agree with Chad. I'm just
I disagree with Chad all the time.
I'm just throwing that
Chad
at
and I
you.
have great disagreements. I actually love arguing with Chad.
Yes. But it really kind of does. It says, okay, our posters for gay pride, which is, I don't know, maybe the minority, maybe not, are okay. But posters for straight individuals aren't okay.
If the poster just said like straight pride, it had that like black and white flag or whatever.
I'm going to tell you right now, they would have been called out on that too.
Probably.
They would have been.
But that's not what happened in this specific case. Just saying.
Because these are little boys.
Yeah.
And these are little kids in general with the maturity level of little kids who shouldn't be exposed to the definition of gender identity, transgender, or gender fluid, like they're having to identify in a freaking test in the Pittsford school district.
That except for the one kid that was sleeping, they all got an ace on that. The one kid that was sleeping went, what the hell just happened? You got a 0?
Has
How'd
no
you
idea.
Get a 0?
It's the indoctrination of our kids at way too early of an age that they can even figure out what in the hell is going on. Why the push for this?
That's the point.
Why the push at the elementary school level? Why? Can someone fill me in on why the need to teach kids non-binary when they're 9 and 10 years old? I don't know what the hurry is.
Yeah.
There's something greater at work, and I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's freaking scary. I mean, I can say now I am so glad that my daughter went to school when she did, but she would tell me, Mom, there are girls dressed like cats at school. They come to school dressed like that all the time.
I think that's the conclusion that we all need to come to. Why at this? Why now? Why at this age? Why such a hurry? Why do we have to announce somebody's gender at 3? I mean, at 5. Why?
At 7.
Why?
At 9.
Why do we have to do that? Why can't we just let children be children? And then at some point they will figure this out, and they need,
and then we deal with it.
People do need to be educated on these topics.
Yeah, they do need to be educated. You need to be open and respectful. We shouldn't be learning
our gender, stuff from Lavelle. It just should not happen. We need to learn these things.
You should be learning components of your education, the building blocks of education.
Correct.
At the young age. You should not be learning about gender fluidity at the age of 7.
Correct.
And I still don't know what the fuck that is. I just,
but
they're just trying to navigate.
That means you don't have a gender.
They're trying to navigate their lives at this age.
Are there eunuchs?
I didn't even know what that was till I got in college. Me, I'm a big dummy.
Right.
But lead a sheltered life. So that's why the name of today's show is Boys Will Be Girls. But I honestly, it's scary the push for the indoctrination, and unless parents stand up to this, that currently have children in school, because this is really up to you. A lot of us with kids that are out of school and graduated and not even in college anymore, we don't know what's being taught at the elementary school level. This is shocking stuff, guys. It's wrong. It's morally wrong, and it's unethical, and it's irresponsible. It's all those things.
Why? Why are you doing this? Makes no sense.
You want to talk corn dogs?
Absolutely.
And why wouldn't you want to? Why tomorrow?
I'm not really sure I've ever had a corn dog.
Tomorrow we're going to be talking about the Police Accountability Board. Shocking revelation that the chair, who apparently came on to the director of the PAB, resigned her position over the weekend, and now all of a sudden they've got a new guy, Larry.
Just Larry.
Just Larry.
Just Larry.
Yeah,
I like him already.
I know. Who wouldn't? Corn dogs, because it's carnival season, and who doesn't love a corn dog? I don't like hot dogs.
I'm not really sure I've ever had one.
What kind of freak are you?
I don't know.
I'm not a big corn dog person myself. It's
I always get the fried dough. I'm good with that.
Oh yeah, that's deep fried Oreos. Yo,
I can't deal with either one of you. How is it in your life?
Well, I mean, let's face it.
As an American citizen, have never had a corn dog.
Well, I really don't want to
in your mouth
shove something that looks like a fail. I mean, it's just something that I've never wanted to do.
Swirl it in mustard.
It's more like a female thing, I'm thinking, Kimberly.
It was invented by a dude.
Of course it was.
Who was from Buffalo.
Who wanted to get laid.
Did you guys know that the corn dog was invented by a guy in Buffalo?
Who was obviously horny.
This is the educational part of today's Kimberly's Revolution. Don't say you didn't learn anything today. I'm schooling you guys now, right?
And why do you put chocolate on bananas? I'm just wondering. I'm not eating a chocolate banana.
The guy's name is Stanley Jenkins. And Stanley was a part-time inventor from Buffalo, New York. He died in 1967. He was a part-time inventor. He was a civic leader and a part-time inventor. And he decided that hot dogs needed to be deep fried. And voila, you have the corn dog that you see, of course, at all fairs and festivals and carnivals from sea to shining sea.
90% of corn dogs are being eaten by women.
That's wrong.
I think that's probably
I've eaten a corn dog. I just don't like them that much.
Corn dogs are delish. And I don't even like hot dogs.
I'll see. Are we good like hot dog on the grill?
Can't be good for you. But Jenkins, who lived from 1884 to 1967 in Buffalo, devised this, deliciousness one day when he thought, hey, why don't we have a deep fryer here? Why don't I put a hot dog in it and roll it around in some cornmeal and let's see what we can do. And he did. And the corn dog was invented in 1927.
Do you go plain? Do you dip them in ketchup or
no,
mustard?
you mustard. I just said mustard.
You do mustard.
You slather it
Ugh.
and mustard.
Oh, God, no.
And then you wash it down with a Jack and Coke.
I'm in with this one.
Where you can buy these things now. Do we have it? Yes.
Plus it's diet.
Is it?
Yeah.
One of them is.
Jack and Coke. Coca-Cola and Brown Forman, which is the distiller of Jack Daniels, have teamed up to create a canned Jack and Coke cocktail. All these canned cocktails are coming out now. And I will say, some of them are pretty delish. I mean, we buy a couple of them. Yeah, the canned cocktails. You have to get them at liquor stores. You can't get them at like the grocery stores because, they can't sell liquor.
Yeah.
But a lot of them have rum in. Some have tequila in them. This is obviously the Jack Daniels and Coca-Cola. It's set to hit the shelves later this year. Probably not in time for your summertime fun, but just in time maybe for Christmas.
Well, I already have it at my bar. So it's sitting there at my bar. You can get all kinds of Jack and Coke.
Yeah. So canned Jack and Coke is the fourth new alcoholic beverage in Coca-Cola's lineup in the last 2 years. They have that Topo Chico. I don't know what it is. I've only seen the advertisements for it. Topo Chico. It's in a can.
No clue.
I think it's like a hard seltzer, like a spiked lemonade, and they've got Fresca hard seltzers too, which I guess are pretty good. But I love that idea, the Jack and Coke in a can. It's just something for
I
me
will
to,
definitely try it.
to drink too many of them and puke later on in the
They're probably
evening.
not strong enough though. So.
Oh, I don't
5%.
know. Some of these
5%. Yeah, why bother? You'd have to drink like 8 of them to do anything, do you?
I gotta tell you, some of those canned cocktails give me a little buzz.
Really?
Now I know I'm a lightweight, but I'm just telling you, yeah. The Jack and Coke,
So
which I like.
It's like drinking a beer if it's 5%.
Tomorrow on Kimberly's Revolution, Chad Hummel will, of course, be here, and we're going to break down the stupidity of the PAB, the Police Accountability Board here in Rochester, New York, who there's so much infighting now. And I don't know what happened to City Council. So City Council has hired this guy just like a couple of weeks ago, and now all of a sudden he's the chairman of the Police Accountability Board. Larry Knox.
Just Larry.
Who is he? Where does he come from? What kind of experience does he have? This whole group is nonsense.
Does it really matter anymore?
We can all agree on that.
Yeah. Does it really matter?
We can all agree that Larry Knox has been voted the interim chair, and we don't know what he is.
It's $5 million a year to just
what?
give money away to somebody that'll maybe make them happy.
Did you know that the Police Accountability Board, and by the way, if you haven't watched Sex with the Unicorn, that's what the last chair called the director, and that's what led to this whole uproar. Sex with a Unicorn is last week's podcast. You don't want to miss it. You can go and, you can
watch them all.
You can watch them all on your own time.
Binge them. There's like 100 of them.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That here we are almost 2 years later, still doing a podcast.
Jose's show on Wednesday,
Who
I
knew?
believe, is his 1-year anniversary.
I also found out from Jose that there are members of the Rochester City Council that want to get rid of the blue light cameras.
Well, they have to be racist.
The blue light cameras are helpful
Solving crime.
It's solving evidence.
Yeah.
It's evidentiary material
It's all racist.
that can either help you or hurt you depending on what crime you've committed, right?
They got rid of those red light cameras. I paid for 3 or 4 tickets.
Oh,
Apparently, I was the only one that was paying for it.
No, you weren't. I got a couple of them too. But there are certain members of the Rochester City Council that now want to get away. They want to do away with the blue light and cameras. And I wanted to talk to Jose Pio about this because a lot of his district for city council is in these challenged areas. And I kind of wanted to get his thought on it. But Jose's a busy man and wasn't able to do the show. So maybe another day. But we have a lot of stuff to break down with Chad Hummel. Tomorrow, it's Kimberly's Revolution on the We the People podcast network. We're so glad you joined us today. If you want to do your own podcast, give Fitz a call at Rock Vox Productions. That's ROCVOX Productions. And we'll be back tomorrow.
I don't get anything.
You don't have time.
Just a couple quick things.
Okay, very quick.
Number one, I want to wish Jason McElwain, J-Mac, a speedy recovery. He got hit by a car riding his bike on Ladder Road.
No, he ran into the car.
Well, we don't know that
No,
yet.
we do. Oh, listen to me. We know that.
He ran into the car?
He ran into a car.
Well, either way.
In a no crossing
Either way,
area.
we wish him the best.
Just saying.
So there you go. I'll leave everything else.
I
wanted to talk
into the
about
side of the car.
There was a guy in Sodas Point.
I mean, I hope he gets better too,
Yeah.
but let's not, the facts are the facts. Okay.
There was a guy in Sodas Point that was arrested 3 times in the last 3 weeks for having too many bird feeders in his yard. And I just want to say, look, when you're old, I'm getting there.
Can they arrest you for having too many bird feeders?
Apparently you're only allowed 2.
Fuck those people that arrested that guy.
When you get old and there's
serious?
nothing else to do, you like feeding birds. Can we leave old guys alone for feeding birds?
I hate birds. I will just go out there and say, I hate birds. I wish there were more feral cats to kill the birds. But can you just leave the dude alone?
They've arrested him 3 times.
Aren't there more pressing things going on in Sodas than to arrest a dude with birdhouses in his yard?
Old guys like to feed birds. Just let it go.
I don't think all old guys like to feed birds.
Every old guy likes to feed birds. It's just a thing you do.
I'd like to shoot a couple of crows in my yard, but I know it's illegal.
Get better,
so.
J-Mac. God bless. Be kind to others.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.